They do not care that you cut your finger with your knife a little bit. The only thing they care about is you're going to survive. Hey folks, welcome back to Bullets and Brass. We're talking about first aid kits today, and not getting into a whole lot of hardcore details, but we're going to talk about the differences between kinds of kits and some basic fundamentals you're going to want to make sure you've got covered. And I am not saying that the kits I'm about to show you are perfect. In fact, one of the reasons I had them out and was going, oh yeah, I should probably do a video, is because I was updating them. Going through, figuring out what is worn out, what is outdated, what needs to be replaced, what got used and didn't get replaced, and just in general doing upkeep, which is something you also need to keep in mind. Things expire, particularly things like tape. Good first aid tape, a couple of years before it's trash. So, I'm gonna move the camera down and get into it. So what you're looking at here is actually, I got two different kits here, and then none wasn't in the kit. This is a general purpose first aid kit that I bring to events. Goes to the range with me, goes to if I go to a convention, if I am traveling. Kind of a combination of a general household first aid kit and a trauma kit. Now, the goal of this kit is not to replace a real iFAK. It is not to replace having a fully up, medic kit with a trained professional. And then what I consider snivel gear. Just like in camping, you've got your stuff where you don't really need it, but it makes life a little more comfortable, right? There's a lot of that in this kit, and it's all hiding right now. It's under the halo. Like hand wipes in here. Honestly, 99% of the time, that's what gets used, is the little stuff. And the reason for that is obvious. Day to day, you don't get gunshots. You don't have major knife wounds. You don't have car accident injuries, unless you are an EMT or a paramedic or a fireman or policeman responding to a major event. So I've got the stuff, but honestly, it's the bare basics. Notice how big it is. It is the biggest of the kits I'm going to show you. There's enough here for a long weekend of somebody being miserable, okay? Allergy meds, things like that. There's literally enough here that if somebody's just having a bad weekend, something is not going right for them, we're okay. It's under control. Then you get to one that is a little more oh shit oriented. This one assumes you have the scissors packed separately. This one is specifically designed to go into double magazine pouch. It's ATS, I believe, yeah. We've got a mix of snivel kind of gear and trauma, but bare bones. This is the primary purpose for this kit, right here. These two things are why this kit exists. This stuff over here is the extra. It gets used, but it's the extra. But just notice the size difference. Okay. You're giving up stuff, but you've got it into a smaller package. Then you go a little more dedicated. Now, this is the North American Rescue RU pouch, and I've got tourniquet, and yes, to the person who commented the other day, it is actually prepped for use. Scissors back here. Nothing special, just standard scissors. However, the reason I included this kit in this video is because it's a good example of the bare minimum trauma. Let's slide this over a little bit. This is a kit that is specifically designed for serious oh shit moments and nothing else. They do not care that you cut your finger with your knife a little bit. The only thing they care about is you're going to survive. That's it. Everything in this kit is centered around the person will live long enough for a real medic to get to them and help them. So again, you've got the glove pack. You've got hyphen chest seals, wound dressing. This is again a pressure bandage, same style. And then a smaller wound packing gauze, okay? This is not as obviously as big as that roll. However, this is more compressed, so it may be 50% of that other one, or even 75. And that's it. I mean, there is nothing underneath here. That's it. That's the whole kit. You've got a tourniquet, a pressure bandage, chest seals, and wound packing. There's no extra. It's the minimal amount of space that they can make this fit in, and the maximum oh shit protection. This is basically the iFAK for somebody who doesn't want the airway stuff. And they offer one with the airway stuff. I do want to replace this with a quick clot version. It's on my list. When I got it, I thought that I had a quick clot pressure bandage, and it turned out I didn't. This is the kind of kit you put on your belt. You know, that's exactly what it is. It's a kit to go in your belt. You need to keep in mind, with a kit like the Roo, it's fairly thick, sticks out, because that tourniquet is on the outside. It's not to the side of it. For me, that's actually an issue. I have not been super thrilled with that. If you're seeing these, it's not held on by the straps. They're extra. It's held on by some clips. I just didn't want to cut the straps off because I may want to use them in the future. So that is my on the belt, oh shit, priority kit, as opposed to something like this guy. Oops. Worry about that later. That is more generalist and honestly more of a personal first aid kit, not trauma kit, even though it's got the trauma stuff in there. Now there's one last kind of kit, and I'm not sure it even qualifies as a first aid kit. And that is the bag of miscellaneous stuff. I've had it as a box. I've had it as a little tackle box. I've had it as, you know, a Ziploc bag. And really what this is after you bought replacements for things, you usually have extra. The beauty of this is that if you do it right, it counts as another first aid kit. Everything I could need is in here. It's just not organized. It's not convenient. However, for me right now, this lives in my kitchen. And since you want to have a first aid kit in your kitchen anyway, bingo, that's my solution. The worst cuts I've ever gotten were in the kitchen, because where else do you handle large sharp knives on a regular basis? Even if you work with knives on a regular basis, hours spent with a knife in your hand, maybe not paying the most attention, the kitchen. That is it. If anybody has any suggestions on new equipment, replacements for some of this stuff, let me know. I'm kind of in that season. I need to upgrade, update, and just replace stuff. Like I said, you know, this is out of date. I have not updated my training or materials knowledge in a couple years now, and I'm sure something has changed. It's just how it goes. If you have not gotten training and you are watching my videos, you are somebody who should probably go get some training. Most fire departments or first aid organizations in your area, schools, they offer training, and it's usually free. If there's a charge, it is usually relatively minor. If you want more serious training, obviously there is some expense to that, particularly airway stuff, because you're going to use consumables that cannot be reused. Anyway, take care, have fun, stay safe, and get some training.